Hey everyone, Alec Tackmann here. This is GoAndPractice, Book 3, page 42. This is the second half of the inverted Paradiddlediddle. So if you haven't seen the first video on this one, definitely go back to that one first. That explains the sticking pattern we're working with. But basically it's a Paradiddlediddle that's been flipped backwards. So we're putting the doubles first and then the singles. So our sticking combination is going to be right, right, left, left, right, left. And we're accenting to that right-hand single, which gives you a harder accent on the upbeat instead of the downbeat. So we have... And now on this page, what we're going to be doing is following that, or using that accent, is kind of your guide to move down the toms. And it's kind of awkward because we're moving on the ands of the beat, which is a little bit uncomfortable. But once you get used to it, you can get some really neat sounding fills, especially if you have kind of more of a jazz kit where the toms are high pitched, so you can actually get the rebound and articulation off of them. So number one is the first kind of general idea. A quick disclaimer here: this entire book is written for a 4-piece kit, so kick, snare, 2 toms. Adapt these as you want, depending how many toms you like to use. But the main idea is that right hand on the upbeat has to take that leap of faith to the next tom and kind of lead the way down. Your left hand can follow exactly in group of 6s if you want, but I kind of find myself, what I like to do is I don't have it following so strictly. Sometimes it'll just hang back on a tom for a little bit extra time, and it's almost not even like a conscious thing. But what's kind of cool about that is then you end up with a unique fill almost every time if it's something different. The key though is that right hand guiding the way down. So anyway, starting off with number 1, you just got 2 on the snare, 1 on this tom, 1 down here, and into the crash. So it's the second accent that's going to begin your sequence down the toms. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, I got to stress here, the most important thing is that right hand, hearing that upbeat 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, crash, crash. The left hand, I think, can be kind of slop. As you can see, like my left hand sometimes isn't even hitting all the strokes. It's all about the right hand kind of leading the way down. And then, so another thing you can do to modify this is let your left hand lay back. You get something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as that right hand's in charge, you're good. Number 2, same idea. Instead of having the punctuation point as the accent on the tom or the drums, we're still moving, but that punctuation point now is on the cymbals. So now we're dealing with groups of like... It's always that on that upbeat. So number 2, you got 2 sets of snare, 1 on the high tom, 1 on the floor tom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get ready, go. Can also work well if you got a ton of upbeats you got to highlight, but this is a really cool trading fours fill I like to bust in every once in a while. Also it just works as a cool fill on that kind of medium, slow, real heavy swings, like. And you just want super heavy upbeats. It's a cool effect. Number 3, same treatment to this one we've been doing to like many things in this book. Substitute the kick drum crash for a light version with a hi-hat, a little snip instead. This is going to pair well with a little bit tighter snare wire. So like the articulation here playing in the center is going to match that. These will work together and you're gonna get also cool with that one, if you want to set up in a context of upbeats on the hi-hat and then go into this, the hi-hat part's gonna run straight through all that. So waffled the groove there a little bit, but you get the idea. So we set up the upbeats, you know, on the kick, or sorry, hi-hat, and then off to the fill. You can do the same thing with the kick drum. You can do both of them. And where are we at? Number 4. Number 4, split it in half. Let just the right hand travel. That works cool too. They all work. Lastly, number 5 is just 2 on the snare, 2 on the floor tom. Why does this one get a special recognition? Reinforcing double strokes on the floor tom. I think this is a really important skill and practice tool and kind of test of your double strokes. If you can play your rudiments on the floor tom, you're probably good, because this is the hardest one to do. I used to actually spend a lot of time just running through rudiments right here. You know, play your Alan Dawson rudimental ritual, whatever, you know, your favorite thing, but getting the hang of good flow on the floor tom means the rest of the kit's gonna work out just fine. So number 5, 2 in the snare, 2 in the floor tom. So anyway, a small, simple little idea there. It just makes for a really neat sound of fill. I love this one. I do it all the time. Same with the stuff from the other page. And you can see, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Split your hands up. See what you can come up with. You know, you could mess around with even cymbals, you know, if you wanted to. I don't know, maybe that kind of stuff. I don't know. Be the first person to do it. Yeah, just take a rudiment, flip it backwards, see what you can come up with. And this one just swings so hard because you're playing the upbeats over and over. But anyway, thanks again for checking out the videos and everything. I appreciate everyone. And I will see you all next week on the drag fill. So any questions, just let me know. See you next time. Thanks, bye.